Hey everyone, Stanpai here with a video all about E3 2018. So we're just leading into E3 this upcoming weekend, and that means it's time for a lot of new video game news and updates. Now for those who are wondering what E3 is, if you've never heard of it before or just need a general explanation, E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo. What this event is all about is teaching people about different new things that are happening in the video game industry. A lot of the time you'll see AAA studios revealing things for the first time, publishers and companies showing off their new hardware or sometimes new software, or just something new that they want to get people excited about. Sometimes it'll be things they've already mentioned in the past and are now following up on. Other times it'll be things that are coming way off in the future, but they want to have a positive, excitement, hype experience going into it. So whichever it is, I'm expecting to see a lot of cool things this year at E3. Now, as far as what I'm looking for and what I'm going to be doing here on my channel, I'm planning on doing some general E3 coverage. So what I'd like to do is make a few videos that cover what's going on at the event, but specifically what I noticed. I might give some aspect of a review of the conferences because everybody hosts a press conference, but I also will be more focused on just covering what I thought was relevant, either good or bad. There are going to be plenty of places that you can go to see, what everything was that happened, and if you really want to keep an eye on it, if I'm watching any of them on live tweeting status updates, which I do every year, you can just follow me on Twitter at TheManlyStanley and see for yourself what's being announced in what order. So, with that aside, what I'm expecting to do, as I mentioned, is just taking a look at what's going to be coming out through these different press conferences and through the upcoming week, taking my favorite picks of it, and making an overall presentation to you guys explaining what I care about and why, who did a good job, who didn't do such a good job, and just the overall feeling about the conference. Some notes going into it, over the last couple of years, E3 has not been as exciting for me as it used to be. I don't know if it's the industry itself that's changed, I do believe that's a big part of it, but also for me, I feel that just the way information is disseminated now, it's not really the same as it used to be. People can make hype, announce updates before the E3 even comes around, so there's not really a reason for it other than for the, it's an industry standard at this point. I don't need to go to the event. Everything's going to be live streamed online, so I can just stay at home and enjoy it from the comfort of wherever I'm going to be watching it from. So that's really what to expect from me going in. It's going to be what I personally care about and what I'm looking forward to sharing. Now, giving some brief overviews of what I expect, I'm not going to go too much into it, but just to kind of let you guys know what I'm looking forward to or expecting from the different companies. First off, Nintendo, I'm expecting Smash Brothers. I think everybody knows Smash Brothers is coming, and it's just a matter of what are we going to see? What's this tournament going to look like? What's the game going to look like? My expectation is it's going to be not a port, but a lot of reused stuff and just generally continuing the momentum of Smash Brothers 4 for Wii U and 3DS. I'm also expecting some new characters and some returning characters. I'm expecting a lot of people to come back, but I'm expecting one character in particular because this rumor just keeps circulating. I'm going to bite it and take it. I believe Simon Belmont will be revealed at E3 for Smash Brothers. I'm excited about that. I'm really looking forward to that fact. I couldn't be more excited. So definitely keeping an eye open for Simon Belmont, among other things. I'm also expecting some more to-be-expected announcements from Nintendo. Games that we hear already about during their different Nintendo Directs throughout the year. So I'm not expecting too much mind-blowing, unexpected stuff. Would not be surprised to see some updates about Metroid Prime 4. Would not be surprised to see something from any of the franchises that have been laying dormant for a while. So if we see something about Animal Crossing, I won't be shocked. If we see something about Star Fox, there's already that circulating, so I'm looking forward to that as well. I think there's a lot coming from Nintendo this year that I'm going to be pretty excited about, but I also kind of have my reservations about whether or not they're going to drop a whole lot of information when they prefer to do it with their Nintendo Directs that they are in control of. Next up, Sony. Sony's always got a pretty standard show format at this point. It's always going to be very cinematic, very about experience, very much influenced by making video games that are also kind of movies. Days Gone is going to be one we're going to see. They've teased it for the last two E3s, so we're going to see it again. Another game I'm expecting, obviously, is some Spider-Man stuff. No surprise there. And another Death Stranding, because Hideo Kojima is, of course, working with Sony in partnership for this title, so I'm expecting to see it on the stage this year again. I don't have a whole lot of expectation for what Sony's going to do, to be honest. I've kind of reached a point of okay about it. Won't be surprised to see some Red Dead Redemption stuff going on. Red Dead Redemption 2 at the Sony stage. Previously, Red Dead Redemption did have some exclusive PlayStation content, so I would not be surprised to see something from Rockstar Games revealing that fact at E3 this year. As for Microsoft, what do I expect from them? Well, to be honest, I don't expect anything from them. I don't mean that in a good or bad way, I just have zero expectations. Microsoft has been in this weird middling phase where we just want to stay afloat is kind of the overall atmosphere, and those who have Xboxes are pretty happy. They get taken care of pretty well because there seems to be a lot of support for the Xbox fan base. But for people who aren't in it, it's just not relevant. Well, they've managed to do a good job of bringing over the idea of the Windows community, so Windows 10 plays a lot of the different games you can play on Xbox One. That's great for people who own PCs. They kind of were like, let's stop trying to put all of our eggs in one basket. Let's work alongside the other hardware that we have at our disposal, because Windows is a Microsoft property, right? So that's what I'm expecting from Xbox. Not a whole lot. Some announcements, maybe something new from Gears of War, Crackdown, something Halo related because it's inevitable. I'm expecting some kind of update to Sea of Thieves. If we're going to see even more Minecraft news, because there's always something Minecraft related every year, surprise me. I'm not going to be surprised. It's what I'm expecting. Ubisoft. They are always one of the hard-hitting third-party publishers to put on an interesting show each year. I felt that they did a very good job last year, and so I'm very much looking forward to their conference this year. What I expect from them, Assassin's Creed as always, probably some sort of Tom Clancy title. Pretty much the standard. Everything this year just feels like we're going with the flow for all of the different companies. Everything's standard. EA, expecting stuff from everything they showed last year. We're seeing some Anthem, some Battlefield, you name it, it's going to be there. That's just what they do. EA Sports is obviously going to have a huge segment of the press conference as always, so look forward to more of the same. That's really the vibe I have from this year's E3. If anything, I'm expecting some really interesting partnerships from all the companies with indie developers, and seeing how that's going to influence the upcoming generation. Square Enix also has a show this year. I'm looking forward to that. The only thing I really care to hear about right now is whether or not we're going to get some Dragon Quest on Nintendo Switch, because I've really enjoyed Dragon Quest as I've gotten into the series. So that's something I definitely want to hear more about, is if we're going to have some Dragon Quest 11 for the Nintendo Switch in the West. And if Sega had a conference, I would love to watch it, because if there's any publisher right now doing things that are great, it's Sega. There's another one, it's Namco Bandai. So I'm expecting to see a lot of them as well in all of the different conferences. There's always something going on. I guess if I really wanted to see some other kind of surprise, I'd see something like from Software. They always drop something cool. I really don't have a lot of high hopes across the board. I've already mentioned what I'm expecting. I don't really care to say this is going to happen for sure. If I really wanted to be like, whoa, I would see a lot of interesting Japanese support for the Nintendo Switch, like from Spike Chunsoft and other companies like them. That would be, for me, like the most exciting thing to see. Hey, Danganronpa's coming to Nintendo Switch. Or, hey, new thing coming here. Like, that's the kind of stuff I really get excited about. So, whether it's Sega, or Spike Chunsoft, or Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, or whichever, it doesn't matter. I like hearing about Japanese developers quite a bit. So, that's my overall expectation for E3. I think that people in general are going to be pretty okay with what they see. I think the average consumer is going to think, wow, look at this Sony presentation, that's so cool. Look at this cinematic experience. And I think the person who's getting kind of jaded by that, like I am, is going to not care about it too much, but enjoy it overall and wait for the, oh hey, Kingdom Hearts or something announcement, or Final Fantasy, because with Square having a show again, it's only to be expected. Octopath Traveler, that's going to be mentioned, I'm sure. So really anything you could expect from the different things that you see every single year. I have no expectations of something dazzling that's like, wow, E3 2018 was something unique and special, and whoa, I did not see that coming. That's just kind of the nature of things now, between leakers and things that just get shared constantly. It's not a big deal. I love it, I follow it very closely, but I'm just finding myself not too crazy about what gets shown off by a lot of these companies. And maybe that's a sign of my age, maybe it's a sign of my tastes changing, or maybe it's a sign of just the industry going in a different direction from what I like. I'm finding myself more and more just content playing Japanese and indie titles, and that's pretty much where most of my time's going to go. Exception being Red Dead Redemption 2. So, looking forward to whatever's coming at E3. Don't have super high anticipation and expectation for it, but also going to cover it nonetheless because it is something that I consider to be very important to do and something that I love to do. So be sure to look forward to my upcoming videos on the different things from E3 this year. Depending on how good or what kind of conferences we have, you'll see either one or several videos from me. But either way, let's not talk about it too much. Oh, I forgot to mention Bethesda. Obviously, we're going to hear about Fallout. We're going to hear a lot about Fallout. We're going to hear about everything else Bethesda's doing. Something related to Elder Scrolls. Something related to every IP that they have. Something Doom related will probably come up. Wolfenstein, well, we got last year, so we'll see what happens this year. But I'm expecting Bethesda to continue to do what they do every year, and they do decent shows. I don't think they're very bad. So I think that and I've said this every single year, but I think Bethesda's E3 shows are pretty solid. Obviously, Fallout 76 is going to be the big title for them because they're going so out of their way to tease it and promote it. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. This is Stanpai, and I ask you to let me know what you're expecting from E3, what your anticipation, what you care most about, what it is that you're excited about. Please let me know in the comments below in this video. And if E3's already happened, let me know how close did I get things. Was I right? Was I an idiot? I don't know. We'll find out. Anyways, this is Stanpai. Once again, be sure to catch me on Twitter at @TheManlyStanley, where I'll be live tweeting some of the different press conferences. If you've not done so before, hit that subscribe button here on the channel if you've enjoyed this video. And as always, stay tuned for more from me, Stanpai. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.